So as you can see, the shed's disorganised as usual. I'm actually trying to straighten it all out. We're sort of getting ready with things like this. This is some gel coat. I've got a few like little crackings in the gel coat I want to repair this year on the boat. So I mean, they just look a bit messy, so I thought I'd get some of that. Plus the inside, I've always had a problem in an area where the gel coat wants to come off. It obviously wasn't bonded properly originally, so we're going to strip that out and redo it. I did have some around here, but it's getting a bit old, so it gets a bit stiff. I need it nice and runny kind of thing to get it nice and smooth. As you can see, I've kept both the rod rests. I was going to replace that one, this one, with that one, but I decided that they both will fit in there, and I can get, I know it's a funny number, but I can get 27 rods in there now, so you know, 16 on that one and still 11 on this one from the old one. So I'm going to leave it like that, because yeah, I mean, I mean, there's only what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's only 6 or 7 spare spaces left now out of that anyway. So we've got 20 odd rods in there, and I'm sure there's I mean, there's more rods up there. I've got another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 river ones just there, so I could always put those together and shove them there as well. But no, it keeps them nice and compact. So anyway, there hasn't been a lot of fishing going on, apart from obviously the beach stuff you've seen us doing. Now, there just hasn't been really much about, and on top of that, the weather is just crap, you know. So I haven't really bothered much on that. Plus, on top of this, I'm trying to get a lot of stuff sorted out now. It's like you see here, we've got all these lures and things that I'm trying to go through and get sorted out for next year. And we've got all these sort of things as well I'm going to look at. These are actually interesting ones. Actually, these ones catch okay. This is Skerries. Everybody probably knows this one. This one's, if you want just a straightforward lure that's going to catch you bass and pollock, get yourself a Skerries. If you don't know much about lures, it's not complicated. You chuck it in the water, you drag it along, and the fish grabs it. Or there's this type here. This is a Tsunami one. Same idea. Rubber eel, does the same thing, catches fish. I haven't used the Tsunami that much actually. I did test it out this year on the boat, and it did catch. So I know it works. But ones like this has never caught anything. I've tried it many times over, but it just, I don't know what it is with the stumpy lures. Anything that's sort of short and stumpy doesn't seem to work well in the ocean. When I came back from Scandinavia, I had lots of these lures from obviously fishing in the rivers. Now they work really all the lakes. They work very well for pike, and the small ones work really well for perch, that kind of thing, zander. But as soon as I came back here, I tried all those lures that I had, and they just didn't work in the ocean. I don't know what it is. It just seems short, stumpy lures don't seem to work well. But the longer ones always seem to do a lot better. And we've got other ones like this. Now this one's pretty interesting because this is like completely mackerel. I think this is a Savage one or something like that. I can't remember who made this. No, I don't think it is actually. I think it's something else. But anyway, you see it's got these multiple joints. When you see this in the water, it's incredible. You really, when it swims past, you think it's a real fish. The trouble is, it doesn't catch anything. I mean, I said it doesn't catch anything. It has caught pollock, but I've never caught a bass on it yet. And you would think that would catch a bass, but no, for whatever reason it doesn't work. I've also got the bigger version, you might say. There's the one, and then we've got that one there, which is a lot bigger. Yeah, this one I tried it a couple of times and didn't work, and then I stood on the fin, so I put another one, but I haven't really used it. I kind of lose heart in ones obviously you don't catch. You get ones like this. This is a very old one, made a long time ago. This one catches bass, and it doesn't look like much, but it does catch bass. And then of course you get these cheap ones like this. Oh, oops. Well, it's that one there. Very, very cheap. It's actually going rusty, everything, because it's so cheap. Catches fish okay. It just doesn't last very long. This is a Savage one. This works, but it's very temperamental. You know, one day it'll catch a fish or two, other day it won't catch anything. It's not very consistent, that one, but it does catch. And then you've got your old slither kind of things. They always work well. They work well for pollock, bass, whatever, mackerel, longnose, everything. And these things work alright as well. This is just a cheap lure again. Pain in the arse to cast. They're very light. And I actually put bigger hooks on, because when you're pulling them behind the boat you need them to stabilise a bit. They tend to kick out a lot, so you have to go very, very slow. But they do catch. So anyway, like I say, we're trying to sort out all those bits and pieces ready for next year, and at the same time you see we've got well, we've got all our reels up here and that I need to work on. I've got things like the drag's a bit, well, it's very tight on this one. They've been rinsed in fresh water, but I haven't actually serviced them. Same with these ones here actually. These are the fixed spools I've been using this year. I bought these, 3 of them. I've used 2 of them, but I only paid like, I don't know if it's £12 or £15 a reel. And I bought them to last a year basically, and they have, well outlasted a year. They'll go into next year. They'll probably, I would think they'll probably be fine for next year. Don't know if they'll last a 3rd year, but for 15 quid. I mean, the spools are plastic and that, but they've certainly caught plenty of fish. And there you go. Doesn't matter if it's expensive or cheap, as long as it catches fish. That's the main thing. Anyway, near the end of the month we should be heading back out again down to the beach, looking for some more ormers or lobsters or whatever else we can find. It's going to be big tide, so I just want to get filming down there anyway to see the tide, because it's going to go a long way, and it'll be really interesting to see when it goes that far. As far as the fishing goes, well, if we do get some not bad weather where it's dry or not cold, I mean it's not cold now, it's just wet and windy, when we get some of that sort of weather, then I might pop out and do a fishing trip. Whether it makes it to be viewed, I don't know. That depends on obviously if we're going to catch anything. Like I say, things are lean at the moment. I mean, there's bass around. I mean, but then there's always bass around. The only thing is, at the moment they are spawning or breeding, and so you know there is a ban on as well on a lot of the bass to actually take fish. But I'm not particularly worried about going out and fishing for bass at the moment. I just leave them for now, and when they finish spawning and that, you know, around the sort of April when the bans and things are back off and that, we'll go out and have a look. You know, I mean, you could say that, well, you know, it's catch and release, that's fine. And yes, it is. But the trouble is, you know, if I go out and gill hook one and it starts pouring with blood, I've still got to throw it back dead. So I'd rather not be faced with that, you know, possibility. So yeah, we'll get to it anyway. And I'm thinking of actually going with a couple of friends who are going to go out and do some bass fishing like we used to do. And we'll probably be going out using more than likely peeler, sometimes live sand eel, but if we can get some peeler crab, we'll go out and do that, and we'll try and get onto some of the bigger bass, because I know when we used to fish with the sand eel, we used to catch a lot of school stuff, but when we fish with the peeler, then you're talking, you know, you're sort of 4 to 10 pound fish. So we might try that, and we'll have to see how we go. It's a bit of a tricky one trying to film it, because it's at dawn and you're not trying to disturb anything. You don't want lights flying around in the water. I mean, we're fishing literally, you know, 1.5 foot of water up to sort of 3 feet of water. Really shallow, gullies, this kind of thing. And obviously if you're flashing lights around and God knows what, right on the edge of the water, you will spook them, especially the big ones. It might not bother the schoolies so much, but the big ones, that's why they're big. You know, they've avoided a lot of things for many years. Anyway, I've got to get on now and get the parts for that outboard and get these pots and everything finished off for the boat, service the reels, check all the safety equipment, you know, the general boat stuff, and then we're going to have to go down the boat. I've just got some brand new gel coat to go and fix some gel. There's a few crackings and things on the gel coat itself that I want to repair this year, and do a few other things, anti-foul the boat and all the rest of it, and then we'll be good to go. So I'd just like to take this moment to thank everybody who's subscribed to the channel. The channel is growing steadily, and if it wasn't for you, there wouldn't be a channel. Now, if you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and hit the button. Don't worry about getting spammed, because that's what some people have expressed to me who haven't subscribed but watch the videos quite often, is that they are worried that they're going to get a lot of junk in their email, but you don't. If you can turn on the notifications to get notified when a video goes up, but if you don't have the notifications turned on, you won't get notified. I must say that I actually do keep my notifications off for a lot of channels that I actually watch, so people out there who have channels, but I regularly check in on those channels to see. But again, I don't like getting spammed with mail either, so you know, that's the way it goes. But anyway, as the channel grows, we hopefully will bring a lot more content, and hopefully a lot of better content. You see sometimes when we do, like, say, the beach trips, I mean, it starts off, the filming's alright, everything's going well, and then later on you'll see the camera angles start to go to crap, and, you know, I'm pretty exhausted by them basically, and you just start to lose interest when, not interest, but the will, you know, when you're that tired of doing stuff. So hopefully we can rectify that in the future. And there's also another thing is mentally trying to remember that the camera needs to be facing this. It's not like somebody's looking down a lens and filming everything, getting all the best shots. You can't see what you're filming with these kind of cameras, and the ones you can see a lot of what you're filming, it's just very awkward placement. And if you can buy much bigger cameras, but then that's not really feasible to film on your own either. But hopefully in the future, like I say, things will improve and we will get better equipment and make better productions. And we will keep the content varied. Now I know not all the content will appeal to everybody, and that's to be expected. You know, obviously you can see by the views, some people love certain videos, some people don't like other videos, you know. I mean, I don't expect everybody who likes the fishing to like necessarily the cooking part or maybe the building stuff, you know. But there are people who like the building stuff maybe a little bit more than the fishing. So it's just about keeping that content varied for the moment. I don't want to be stuck with just the same thing over and over. And there's a lot that goes on in fishing. It's not all about just throwing a line in the water. There's a lot behind the scenes, as I just showed you with things like the lures and that. I mean, like with all these lures out here, we're going to go through them, we're going to clean them up, we're going to paint any that need repainting, we're going to decommission stuff, we've got to change all the hooks, check all the fittings. You know, there's all that kind of stuff that goes on behind the scenes as well, because yes, we could go out and we could wash our lures every time, or we can wash our reels every time and look after our equipment, and we do look after our equipment, but there's a limit to everything, and time is always an element as well. How much time have you got to do all these things? This is why quite often rods and reels stay out on the boats. But anyway, looking into the future, well, hopefully, like I say, we will do a lot more fishing, but hopefully I'll take more time out to actually go for certain species of fish rather than actually just sort of do a lot of general fishing where we catch different types, but actually try and target stuff. I mean, we're always going to get a mixed species here when we target certain things anyway, but we'll try and sort of go on more of those sort of individual trips and do stuff like that. So anyway, thank you all, and we'll see you on the next video.